Hi there folks, and welcome back to another one. We're approaching Paro. The live weather, live time, and the weather's a little bit different to yesterday's attempt, and I thought today I'd have a go in the Bombardier CRJ700. Fantastic little aircraft, and I really enjoy hearing this in. So again, we're coming in for runway 15. This time we have an autopilot that we can actually use to help us. The one thing the Bombardier 700 doesn't have is a speed hold. It has a speed hold for the climb, but not for the descent and cruise, so I'm manually having to do the throttle. But we do have some waypoints to help us on the way in, so we can follow the altitude guidance on the way down. I will go manual as soon as I can, but I think the weather, it's going to be an interesting one. So as you can see, the frames in the CRJ compared to yesterday's, the nav just went off. So the frames compared to yesterday's DC6 are a huge difference. We were struggling to get 30 FPS in the cockpit of the DC6, but here we see we're clearly sitting above 60, which is really nice. So I just need to maintain a speed of 185 for the initial navigation. So let's arm the reversers, because I'll probably forget those later. Reversers armed, landing lights set, everything looks good. Okay, speed, maintain speed, and follow the course in. Here we go. She's an absolute beaut, this aeroplane. I really enjoy it. Stunning little aeroplane, and the scenery is just fantastic. But today, like I say, we're coming in slightly later in the day. We have some clouds and a little bit more wind. I think there's 14 knot wind down there when we get down there. Should be interesting. Okay, I'm going to skip out. We're going to go straight to 8. Should be going to 8:30 anyway. I was going to skip out a couple of waypoints, but it's just getting back on track, I think. Okay, our speed has dropped, so I'm just increasing the speed. It's much easier to fly it manual, actually. Just follow the course manually. Relying on, you have to watch the autopilot the whole way, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Whereas when you're flying it manually, you're just watching it anyway. There we go. Okay, what's the speed? So it's the descent that's the critical part, clearing that last little ridge line and then descending down into the valley ready for the approach is the tricky part of this one. So we've done it in the 737 2 days ago, did it yesterday in the DC6, and today I'm going to try it in the CRJ. So as you can see, we're oscillating backwards and forwards around the course line, which isn't good because it missed the turn, so it's trying to get back on course. Well, we'll leave it, see how it gets on. Just got to watch the speed, we're a little slow, but I do believe we need to slow to 145. Yeah, here, 816. 816 is, it's not far away. So I'm just going to let the speed come down. Somebody answer that phone. Okay. As you can see, it's oscillating backwards and forwards, trying to capture the path. It's going to be tricky. Okay, next altitude is 15, 4. Let's head for 14. Awkward thing about the CRJ is trying to spin this and watch the altitude. So the altitude only displays up here. We don't have a display up here, so it is quite awkward. 14, yeah, that will do. We'll start coming down there. So we just need to watch the speed on the descent. Let's descend a little more. Stunning. So we're landing again at Paro. It's in the valley alongside us. We fly up this valley, cut across, back down, and and make our approach, but due to the mountains and the approaches are rather challenging, and the visibility, it may be hindered in places. Who knows? It may be hindered. Okay, everything's looking good here. We're on track. We're descending towards 14,000. So it's very hard to see the altitude here. Just going to double check our altimeter is set correct. Yes, it is. Okay, 15,000. Continue descent. 13,800 at or above for there. So I'm going to set 13,800 now. $13,700. $13,800. We're descending very, very slowly, you see. Okay, slowing the aircraft down. Dropping another set of flaps. Slowing her down. Okay, speed restriction coming up, not yet. Stunning. The sun's starting to set. It might actually get dark for our touchdown because we're going to be at the bottom of a valley. So we're now turning up this valley here. Slowing down to 145. Let's put gear down because it'll only start moaning at me in a minute. Another notch of flaps. How much flaps have we got? Full flaps. Let's hold 145. So I'm just monitoring the speed down here. We could use the HUD, make life a little easier for monitoring this. Okay, let's just check the icing. Just going to put the icing on just in case. We are just flying through some clouds and the temperature is... Where's the temperature again? Can't remember now. Can't remember what it is. I'm just... Ooh, we're definitely a little slow, giving it a bit of power. A little bit of power. So I'm monitoring the speed up here now. Okay, altitude is 13,800 until we cross over the ridgeline, I think. So we're going to fly up here and then we're going to cut through this valley up ahead across the ridge that separates the two main valleys here. And once we cross over, we're going to go full manual. So as you can see, we're flying up this valley, and just over here, we're going to cut through and cross this low part into the other valley that runs back down, which lines up with the airfield. Just absolutely stunning. The sun's going down. Beautiful. Okay, just watch the speed. I am struggling with a little bit of speed here. Let's give it a bit more power. Okay, everything's looking good. We're on track. Altitude restriction is 13,800. We're currently at 13,800. Okay, speed's back up. Nice. So once we make this next turn and cross this ridgeline, you can see here at my 1 o'clock, that's when we're going to disengage the autopilots and go full manual. For me personally, trying to adjust the autopilot to stay on the track and then check everything and then adjust the autopilot and then check, it's just slower than actually just flying it manually. I'd rather just control everything manually once I get over this part here. Now yesterday in the DC-6 I was full manual for when we entered the valley. Basically I hadn't set the autopilot up correctly, whereas here I have it set up correctly. but I still prefer to go manual. Okay, we just slowed down too much again. Just got to watch the speed. I'm going to get rid of the HUD though for the landing. I prefer the nice clear view. So this is the crossover point between the two valleys, just here. And then you drop into the valley, head back south, and it lines you up with the runway. It's quite an awkward approach. And this aircraft is just beautiful. The scenery is just absolutely stunning. And the sun's going down. Look at the sun disappearing over the mountains. Okay, right, let's disengage the autopilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please notice the cabin lights have been turned off, as this is a normal procedure for a nighttime landing.
Okay, so we need to get low here, throttling back and dropping the nose, deploying the speed brakes. Retrimming the aircraft. A bit more trim. Okay, we're heading down here next. So I've just got to watch the speed. I've got full brakes out. Okay, turn into this valley. So monitoring the speed, controlling the rate of descent. Okay, turning towards the monastery. So as we ease the nose up, we're going to have to reduce the braking. So spoilers are retracting. Increasing the power. Brakes back in. Okie dokie, looking good. Okay, speed's building up too much. Deploying the brakes. So I've got lucky with the weather. There's no clouds down here. A couple of the valleys I was flying past on the way up here were... Oh, there's an airplane up ahead. There's an airplane flying straight towards me. Scary. Retrim. Okay, speed's 140, looking good.
Hotel 55, wind 148 at 20. Cleared to land runway 15.
Retrim.
Cleared to land runway 15 Hotel 55.
Okay, turn back towards the monastery. We need to lower ourselves down. We're a little high. So I'm just putting the nose a little lower. Okay, now it's all about timing the turn to the right and then a little left. Okay, keep an eye on the speed. Flaps, gear, brakes, reversers. Yep, everything looks good. There, here we go. Just somebody else taking off out of Paro. Okay, looking good. Looking for the runway. Okay, turning in. We're a little high. Some brakes.
1000. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Now we're okay.
Sync rate. 500.
We're a little high.
Up. 400. 300.
We'll continue.
Pull up. 300. Pull up. 200. Pull up. 100. Sync rate. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverses. Spoilers out. Brakes on. So we're a little deep into the runway there, but okay, it wasn't too bad.
Hotel 55, turn next taxiway.
Flaps up. A little deep into the runway, a little high, but we got the time of the turn and the level up fairly well. It is kind of very challenging, that one. But we're down safe and sound, and welcome to Paro again, but this time in the Bombardier CRJ700. Absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, the frames externally on this one, what are we at, 60? Compared to yesterday was
Hotel 55,
high
exit runway
40s.
when able.
And the cockpit FPS is 50 to 60 compared to 20 odd yesterday. So yeah, FPS is very good on this aircraft. But there we go, we're down safe and sound at Paro. What's this flight spar deploy? Is that the... oh, well, there's the brakes. I've retracted the brakes. Reverses. Retract those. Ah, it's gone. Well, there we go.
Hotel 55, turn next taxiway.
I'm off.
Hotel 55, contact ground on 120.3.
And there we go. Down safely at Paro.
120.3.
Love this
for Hotel
airport on approach.
55.
It really is amazing. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. And look forward to seeing you next time. Let's see if we fit down this taxiway. Looks a bit narrow. I think that wall is slightly in the wrong place. Let's see if it fits. I think we're just going to have to favour the right side of the taxiway here. Otherwise my wing's going to be very close. But there we go anyway, we made it down safe and sound. Fantastic little aircraft, and hope you enjoyed the approach. Live weather again, so yeah, I got lucky. The clouds broke. I was kind of worried that the clouds were going to be filling the valley up and we'd have zero visibility. The next time I plan to do a nighttime approach into Paro. That's so cool. Take care.